soon as Audacity opens up. Mic's out. Okay.
Take your man moves in an attempt to flatten them. If you try to pay your cell phone bill with gold press platinum. If you care which doctor who was the best. Or you try to hide that you cried when that guy died on Galaxy Quest. And you come to the right place. Look around, you come to the right place. Welcome to the con, welcome to the con. All the troops in stormtrooper suits say, come on, shake your nerdy booty.
And welcome. This is yet another episode of East Coast About Heroes. I'm Jeff. I'm here with Dante and Rick.
We're back.
That's
Here
right.
it is.
We've got, and you've just heard, of course, Ukla the Mock again. Welcome to the con. I got to tell you, I really, really like the sound from this music bullet because our podcast mixing board here hasn't been working right as far as getting the iPod connected to it. So really, what you just heard was literally through my open mic using a music bullet, which I picked up at Walmart at Christmas time for like $15, and using the song off of my Kindle, which I love my Kindle Fire. This was an early birthday present for me, to myself, and I love this freaking thing. Right now I'm using it to read the new Unholy Night. It's a novel by the same guy who did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer.
Oh, nice.
If you get a chance, read it. It's actually pretty good.
Now, does that pick up the same story as Abraham?
No, actually, what it talks about is it's a reinterpretation of the nativity scene, of the whole story of nativity.
Okay.
In it, the three wise men are actually three escaped thieves and murderers.
I think you told me about that. That sounds...
And they're basically, they escaped by knocking out the wise men, taking their clothes, and getting out of prison that way. And they, one of them gets a vision to, basically go to Bethlehem where they come across Mary and Joseph.
Right.
And it's really good. I've been reading it like every night before I go to bed. And my biggest problem is that I fall asleep before I want to because I want to see what happens next in the story. I'm so looking forward to them making this into a movie. I haven't even seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer yet, but I know that's going to be a great movie because I read the book on the Kindle and that thing was awesome. So if you get a chance, you should sit down and read that book.
Yeah, I have to download it on mine.
It's fascinating. You'll love it.
Okay.
So we're back. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode, and needless to say, it's been an interesting 2 weeks, to say the least. We've had some wonderful, let's call it that, as well as unique feedback at the website. We'll call it both good and bad that way, I guess, or different. Rick is back, of course, and I've been dying to wait. My biggest thing, anybody who knows me during the podcast knows, I don't like to talk about anything before the show because otherwise it comes out strained to me when I have to sit there and listen to the same story again. I told you the story about how that happened to Omar and Dan and everybody. They literally, I think, had to record a show 2 or 3 times, which was an hour-long show. They got all the way through the show and then realized there was a problem with the computer and it didn't record. So now they had to do the whole thing over again.
Oh, lovely.
And then that one, something happened to it. So then they had to do a third time it over again. And, getting hearing the same story once, okay, all right, spontaneous is good.
Right.
Second time, third time, no. At that point, you're just, you're screwing yourself over trying to make it sound spontaneous because it just comes out strained. But Rick's here, and I want to get to the first order of business, which is Rick has been chomping at the bit to show us these maps. All right, so Rick, I'm going to hand it over to you, so you can hand it over to us.
Well, first I'd like just to point out this is not plaid for all my plaid fans out there.
We all dressed up, as you could see.
This is one of my Spider-Man shirts. I'm very, very happy to be wearing it today.
We want to thank Becky once again. That's
yes.
Dante's wife for recording it on my flip video recorder.
You
I'm
guys
wearing
are very
my Batman
welcome.
hockey jersey in honor of the Capitals-Rangers game today because today's game 1. So, and he's decided he's going to wear his... Now, is that from Halo?
No, this cap is actually from The Legend of Zelda, the iconic video game series starring the heroic Link in his quest to save Princess Zelda in her many different incarnations. It's published by Nintendo. Great video game series. Any game lovers out there will absolutely know, because without The Legend of Zelda, we would not have the great role-playing games that we've all fallen in love with throughout the course of video game history. It's great. This was pretty much one of the groundbreakers. And just got this hat from the Nintendo store down in New York City, and
They actually have a Nintendo store?
they have a huge Nintendo store. A friend of mine went down there, took pictures. They have several different displays. They have every Nintendo system hardware ever made on display there. Not only is it a store, but it's almost like a little museum too.
Okay.
So it's very interesting.
Sweet. Like I say, I'm wearing my Batman jersey because I'm not trying to be Kevin Smith, because really, who wants to? But,
Well, now wait. We do have to give him thanks for Jay and Silent Bob, hilarious. But yes, based on...
We were talking about comic book men at the last episode.
This is true.
And here's the thing. Every public appearance I have seen Kevin Smith do lately, at both Talking Dead or Comic Book Men or anything else, he's wearing the same freaking hockey jersey. Great. You live in New Jersey, or well, you used to live in New Jersey. Now you live in Hollywood. But here's the thing: you don't have to worry about hiding out how huge you are when you're Kevin Smith, and he's gotten pretty big again.
You have to admire him for his self-esteem, okay?
Or lack thereof.
Well, no, I think that, he's not the only person in comics, involved in comics, creating, that spends too much time possibly sitting down. It could be a metabolism thing, something genetic in the family.
Oh, this is true.
Anybody that works in an office situation tends to get more padding in the hind end area over years.
This is
so
that's
this
true.
is very true.
I just kind of get, I guess I kind of get turned off when people talk about fat people,
Yeah.
because I didn't always have this belly.
Mm-hmm.
I worked hard to get it. I'm
Well,
proud of it.
to be fair, I'm not in any way, shape, or form calling Kevin Smith fat. I'm calling him lazy, because it takes him 2 years to complete a comic book project. But that's not. That's not fat.
Yeah.
That's just him sitting around deciding he'd rather do something else than something he was actually hired to do. But we're getting off topic here.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look at these now. We're going to jump right into it with Rick, because Rick, I guess, has been, and I say I guess, I've got sitting over here 18 pages of comments from the website that that were interesting over the last 2 weeks, and some of them addressed, I guess, the subject of this map. Now, Rick has agreed to come back. In fact, he even said to me in a message, "Go ahead, don't be afraid to ask the hard questions this week."
I've got nothing to hide.
There you go.
I have nothing to hide. Ask me any questions you like. I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
Awesome.
And we'll go from there.
So we're going to go from there. Now, the first thing he wants to show us is these Indiana Jones treasure maps.
Well, they're beautiful. They were done by Matt Bush. I need your help there.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
I'm actually holding the famous Indiana Jones maps, and how beautiful they look indeed.
They do look great.
This is absolutely gorgeous.
These are signed and numbered. It's a limited edition. To my knowledge, Matt sent me the whole print run of 255, I believe. And I'd have to go back to my emails to just double check that.
Get a little bit closer, if you wouldn't mind, Rick, to the mic, actually, when you're talking. You're kind of aiming towards the camera and not towards the mic, where we need to... Okay. And if you want to move that stuff, Dante, out of his way, so it's
Sure.
that way, because I don't want to put the mic down on anything that's important to him. So, but they do look beautiful.
So I brought two with me today, and I figured you guys are welcome to one if you want it.
It looks great. I love it.
Absolutely. This is a piece of history.
So we thank you very much for that.
Well,
I mean,
you're welcome.
what I'll probably do is take a close-up picture of it to put on the website later, or I think you've got one on your blog.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
okay.
welcome to pull that and use
Sweet.
that information.
Awesome.
I won't go into the sales information, as far as what, other than the fact that the end of June, the price is going up on them.
Okay. How much is the price going up to?
Well, I'm not quite sure yet because I want to see how they're going to sell and what kind of interest I'm going to get between now and the end of May.
Okay. You're not talking like $100 extra, that
No,
sort of thing.
no,
You're
no,
probably
no,
looking
no,
like $10, $20
No,
more.
there was some criticism that they were priced too high at $59.95,
Okay.
but that also included shipping.
Oh, okay.
In a nice 30, along with
The
return
postage
receipt
tubes.
and all that kind of stuff. We were advised to use United States postal money orders
Okay.
versus taking personal checks.
Okay.
And we had some problem initially when we offered them with trolls, trying to just mess with our heads and,
Okay.
play 20 questions and whatnot.
All right. Well, why don't we roll them up, and then we'll
Yeah.
get them out of the way over here, and